Dire team ban. Ten seconds. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
To see people just sit back and farm and do no, none of that. Like, see, Dota is there is going to be action at minute 1 and it's not going to stop until minute 30, 35. When, you know, people might get a little bit more conservative. You know, they might wait for those tier 4 items and you know, be a little bit more cautious about when to take Roshan, but it is definitely a mile a minute, the action going on here as we get into the draft. And Alchemist being banned down in the first phase from Motivate, which I think is a little surprising. And something else that we're not seeing is no Beastmaster ban. That 7.29C patch really taking him out of contention somewhat. And I'm liking it. You know, I didn't like that he was just an instant ban straight away.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, do you think the hero's still going to be viable right now? Like with the change to him?
I think he's viable. He's just not busted, you know?
Yeah. And
10 seconds.
I do like how it looks like Motivate have done their homework coming into this. Bob, an incredible puck player. South Built have first pick. It does leave the Grimstroke in the pool. We've also seen South Built have a lot of emphasis on the Alchemist. They've gone for a couple of drafts through the earlier weeks where they played the Alchemist on Enryu and have really liked something like a Gyrocopter as a position 1 to get that Aghanims as well. So they're just like, yeah, Alchemist can completely change the dynamic of a Dota game, so they just don't want to have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like Elder Titan is one of those things that, I mean, even when they were playing with Boom Bell, aka Set Zero, they played this Elder Titan +5 quite an amount. And it provides a lot of everything, right? You know, you can be flexible. It's something that naturally builds well into the Solar Crest. You can go, you know, a bit more of a right clicker, even as that +5 in the super late game. Good at harassing, and that Echo Stomp is just really good for disrupting a lot of these team fights until the BKB start to come online.
Yeah, it really is. And does Jackie have a carry IO in the back pocket? I'm just curious because we see a lot of, like, you know, position 1s right now. It's that X factor having the IO in the back pocket, and if you lane it with an ET, like we've seen that lane just absolutely take over. I'm just curious on if Jackie's got that capability.
I've seen him do it a couple of times, but I just feel like maybe they overnerfed IO, core IO, a little bit. The 25 crash damage, whatever it's called, is just a little bit too much of a nerf. You know, it used to be 40. I think if they made it 30, that's kind of like their happy medium, where, you know, if it's a really good core IO game, you can still pick it, but it's not going to be picked or first banned every single time. So we'll see. I really... Can you recall the last time it was picked as a core? I can't.
I think we saw Dream Assault play it in the upper division recently. I can't remember lower division it getting played for at least us watching. So yeah, we haven't seen it too much at all, honestly, for the lower division games. But
I've seen a lot more of this Centaur though, and
yeah,
it's a little surprising to me. There's nothing really that super stands out for Centaur. They even gave him a little bit of a nerf, so now the Hoof Stomp at level 1 is 18-second cooldown instead of 15. Slight nerf to the regen talent, but honestly, I can't put my finger on why people think it's so busted. You know, I guess it's reliable. It's good to be able to disengage with the Stampede, but I mean, can you think of anything? Because it just seems like a bit of a meh hero to me.
I think the Stampede is probably one of the biggest reasons why I think he's incredibly strong, because a lot of the gap close got nerfed through the 7.29. You know, the cast range got pretty much taken out of factor. The movement speed, you know, that max movement speed wasn't a capability anymore. And I do believe the Stampede cooldown got reduced by a little bit. And I think Centaur he's a strong laner. You know, you can initiate, counter initiate. You are able to be pretty versatile with your itemization. You can sit in the front line, and it does at least provide you, and I think that another thing, the strong lane aspect, like with, you want to put the Grimstroke there, then, well, it's pretty good. But, you know, a person that doesn't care about getting stampeded on is a Medusa.
You're like, all right, well, I guess it might be used as like a counter initiate, right, where, you know, you pop the Stone Gaze, just stampede, get out of there, and look to re-engage from there. I feel like Centaur is one of those heroes that gets picked at the start of the patch. I mean, it's only been, what, 3 weeks or so since it's been out, and you know, the Hoof Stomp AoE got increased a little bit, so that might be a reason where people might be getting caught off guard somewhat. You know, you're not quite expecting the range from the Hoof Stomp to hit you, and then that allows you to lead into kills. And then another thing is, I suppose, that it's quite flexible in what you're able to pick. You know, you can go, again, that initiator, or you can just go heavy into, just with your laning skill build, a lot more burst damage, right? Like, we've seen people lane up against it as like a Morphling, or these heroes that need time to be able to regen a little bit, Lifestealer, for example. But if you get a stun and a double edge off, and you're maxing out that double edge as opposed to the retaliate, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it really is a lot of damage. And, you know, we'll see, it's already a lot of stuns that are getting picked up though, and I mean, I'm intrigued to see how you're now able to deal with the Medusa. I think that's one of the big issues. We're going to see Storm though from South Build, so this is something that Motivate had played in some G when
10 seconds remaining.
He does, for sure. And, you know, it does feel a little bit like that block pick. My only worry is, like, I feel like, for starters, the Dusa ET lane, very good, right? Because ET is just going to be up in your face, harassing out, and it's just going to allow Dusa to sit back and farm. The weakness right now for me with South Build's lineup is, yes, you can get it onto the backlines, onto the Lion, let's say, but unless you do lock down that Lion, you are going to get hexed, and you are going to die. And with this line being positioned 4, you know, you might be able to afford going a first item, don't know about that Ember pick, a first item Blink Dagger, so that you can always be kind of sitting on the sidelines, blink in instant hex. South Build, they're kind of lacking a way to deal damage to this Dusa right now. You know, the way that you beat Dusa is outranging her. Centaur needs to be on top of her to do damage, and he's the core. Storm Spirit, very squishy, as we've talked about so far. And Grimstroke, you know, it's a decent amount of burst damage, but you're never going to be the one doing the damage. Anti-Mage, I mean, I guess so, but I feel like it's the type of hero that needs to get in towards the end of the fight and start to clean up a little bit. So I feel like maybe it's going to be his job to go in on the line instead of the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, this is, I mean, interesting couple of heroes getting picked up. As soon as you saw the Ember, you're like, I don't know about that. The matchup versus the Storm Spirit in the lane is definitely Storm favored. And again, now with the Anti-Mage getting picked up, like, it looks pretty good on paper. Medusa, someone who needs the mana, and the Ember Spirit as well relies on a lot of mana and a lot of magic damage, so Ember not really going to be able to dish out too much versus the Anti-Mage. But this matchup has kind of gone back and forth recently with a lot of changes to the meta, where Medusa is actually a hero that has got a really strong, like, 2-item timing over the Anti-Mage Battle Fury Manta, and sometimes Medusa can end the game early. We don't see as many, like, super early rapiers, but that always used to be a big factor if you got that first Aegis for the Medusa. So yeah, this matchup's definitely not set in stone for AM to win.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, you might think that they're lacking a little bit of lockdown, perhaps, on Motivate's Trust to be able to deal with Storm Spirit and the Anti-Mage, but another build that's being a lot more popular with the Dusa is going for that Ag Scepter, because the base 1.5 second stun when you get hit by the Mystic Snake, pretty big deal. And, you know, you talk about the Roshan with the Aegis, that's definitely a way to be able to, A, get the first Aegis, but if you're able to get the second one as well, you get that Ag Shard, you've got the, you know, you try and Electric Vortex the Dusa, nope, you're just going to get stunned up. You try and, you know, do anything pretty significant onto the Dusa, you're going to get stunned up. So it's going to put them in a bit of a rough spot, but in terms of lanes, it's still looking okay for Southfield, to be honest. I feel like mid should be favored towards them. Gonna pick a Pangolith, so is that a 4 Pango? I mean, we've seen Zephyr play 4 Centaur in the upper division. Don't think it worked, but I feel like this is much more of a Samael style of hero, you know, that 4 Pango.
I'm worried that they banned Bloodseeker Legion and didn't even think about the Slaughter here. Like, this is one of the hardest counters to the Anti-Mage in the lane, in the game as well. Just gives you now easier ways to be able to take Roshan for Motivate, which they are currently lacking. A way to jump in, have that extra follow, because it's just the Lion, and if you don't have another stun follow-up after the Lion, then you might lack that control versus the Storm versus the Anti-Mage. But it's mainly that lane factor. Like, the ways to deal with the Anti-Mage is having some form of kind of procs and not having to worry about mana to harass him, and Slaughter really thrives in that. You see they kind of thought about that with the Legion ban, and there's a Slaughter. Like, it's just, I'm really surprised that maybe, are they worried about Masteros as like Bloodseeker or something, but not banning the Slaughter.
Slaughter is like, it's just a very solid pick, right? And the other thing that I'm a little worried about now, you know, you've got the Slaughter who's eventually going to get a Blink Dagger. You've got the Lion that's probably going to get a Blink Dagger, and you've got the catch coming from Fearless that's going to, you know, enable you to at least get that initial Searing Chains off. Who is going to be standing in on the front lines to do any sort of push for Southfield? Pango doesn't want to hit towers. Enryu doesn't really want to do it. Storm Spirit, are you serious? Are you going to be standing there as a Storm Spirit hitting a tower? And an Anti-Mage, probably not either, because, you know, until you're really like at least 5 slotted, you're pretty damn squishy. So I feel like Southfield's lineup is 100% focused around getting pickoffs and then transitioning that into getting objectives, but they cannot just stand behind someone and look to get objectives like this Motivate lineup can. You know, those 2 items that are coming through on the Jackie Medusa is going to enable them to do that, and then if they commit too heavily, like we've been talking about, the Lion and the Slaughter can come into effect.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if we're going to see Enryu have to go for like a later Blink Dagger this game just so he can be that frontline. And because you do kind of have the Pango that can provide a way to jump in, you know, the Storm Spirit as well with the Zip, but this is a incredibly important series for either team. Motivate currently undefeated. They haven't even dropped a map just yet, and Southfield Esports, they're on 3 wins and 1 loss. So the first place versus second place, Danog with game 1's draft now complete. Is there a side we're favoring heading into this one?
I'd say just because of that Slaughter getting let through, I'd go with Motivate.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think the Slaughter pick really could be that X factor here against the Anti-Mage. What about the Ember though? Because we saw as soon as the Ember get picked up, like it was question marks, I think, against the Storm Spirit. Is there a playstyle that Fearless is looking to play? Like it looks like he's going to sacrifice his laning stage, but is he just going to make as much space as possible?
I feel like that's the thing, right? And it's going to be really important for them to start, like... See, the thing with Southfield's lineup is, with this Anti-Mage even, but with a Storm Spirit and a Grimstroke combination, if you lose your towers on Motivate, you're very vulnerable to being able to be, you know, jumped on, ganked, and they're going to be able to use that to transition into more towers. It's just about getting that initial tower. So I feel like Fearless is going to be playing in this way that's just going to try and keep waves shoved out as much as possible, because Slaughter doesn't do it, Lion doesn't do it, Elder Titan doesn't do it. So I'm going to want to see him go into something that's going to be able to deal with the lanes. I mean, he's got an Orb of Corrosion queued up, but I want to see a pretty damn early Maelstrom from him.
Bot? I kind of like this play, actually. I don't think Radiant... Yeah, he's going to be able to get it. Nice play from a bot, so that's a free bounty for him. At least Radiant will still get 2. They got both the river ones, but...
Get back
nice
here.
Little sneaky maneuvers. Oh,
It's nothing. Oh, forces the blink, though.
Double stun. So they've got Q and Slaughter playing in the lane, and then we got Lion Axe, which is a person that I've been really impressed with every performance that we've seen from Motivate. He's just been stock standard so far.
Yeah. Are you a little disappointed that Lion Axe isn't playing the Lion?
Like, kind of. It's your name. Like, you have to... what are you doing here? If your name's Lion Axe and there's a Lion as a hero and you don't play him when you have the opportunity, like... feel like that's a bit disappointing, right?
Can he play the 5-axe as well? You know, I'd accept that.
Ooh. 5-axe. I know there was there was some guy in North America pubs that was just playing the 5. I think it was, what was his name, like manly position 5 axe player or something like that. I know he's around for a while. Maybe Lion Axe can do that.
I feel like it's kind of a prerequisite to be, you know, at least in your own mind, a manly player if you're going to be maining that axe. Look at Sumail, he is taking a lucky that he's got that.
Is he
venom
dead actually? He's got another astral.
I think it's worth it to pop it. Yeah. Oh, very nice. He tried to go there for the creep camp, but it's been blocked up quite nicely. It's an observer ward though, so if they do look to get that D ward off, Sumail is still getting dived.
It's going to be a lot of damage. Yeah, he got the creep wave. That's just the swashbuckle.
No, he's there. Maybe if they had fortify, they would have gone for that, but obviously still too early.
We take a look at the bot lanes. A lot of harassment early, but you know, top as well with Masros and Q. See, Slardr's already off to a good start, and this is a bit worrisome because you know the issue is Slardr early on at the early levels, you know, you're not the strongest, but once you get your level 3, you see that spike really come through with an extra point in the bash. So this is just a lane that's going to continue to get really difficult for a bot.
Yeah, of course, and with the bash, like, it's not mana dependent, right? So even if anti-mage starts right-clicking you, you're going to get the better end of the trades every single time. And you can see Masros, he's leaving his bash of the deep hit until the absolute very last minute, so that whenever a bot comes in to get a last hit, he is going to take a good amount of damage in return.
Yeah, they're gonna harass him now. You see, he's got a commitment to try and get that range creep CS, but it's gonna force a bot to at least take about half of his health pool there. That's just such awareness from Motivate, and you know they also had the ward that saw Zenki fall back to try and pull the wave, and that's just utilizing the commitment of the anti-mage to their wellness there. As you know, take a look mid. Phyllis, he's having a pretty good time as well. He's already got the bottle picked up by the water rune timing, and he's got a lot of creeps coming under the tower too.
Man, he's doing a damn good job in this mid lane. Just, honestly, he nearly got Bob with a solo kill just before as we were watching the top side. Is he gonna come out to him next? I mean, he's just still putting a little bit more points into the magic stick. Obviously, similar to like a Batrider lane, you're always going to be spamming out those static remnants, so why not? This allows you to harass constantly.
He's going to lose the flame guard soon though. Yeah, Bob. Nice use of the value point in the chains there though. He's got 2 bottles still, and we'll see. He's also got a bounty still up on the high ground for Fearless.
Yeah. To use the Fairy Fire and the Water Rune though to be able to survive that. So on the top side, taking a little bit of damage, but so is a bot.
I mean, it's just like the anti-mage is a hero that wants to get like such a fast battle fury timing, and the issue is in this lane matchup is that you have to go predominantly all your gold spent on resources just to stay afloat. He's even running around to try and get the ring of health, and Q's like, okay, like if I just zap all your mana, how do you reset now when the starter gets aggressive? So it's a little bit of his own treatment there, burning the mana.
Yeah, of course, at least he's able to pick up the Ring of Health now, so it enables a little bit more of this, you know, jungling style. He can tank up a few more of those harassment hits in the lane. There's still a lot to deal with, and with that 2 points in the Bash of the Deep, that is a ton of damage that's being pumped out onto a bot here. He's just threatening, standing there menacingly. Nope. They found the Grim.
Masros has got a Bash available. Now Q, with the help of the Slardr chain lockdown, Zenki, one more hit from the Bash, and they're going to be able to pick up first blood here for Motivate at the top side. Their lanes are going incredibly well, and I think, you know, the lane that we were a bit worried about was mid, but take a look, it's just Fearless knowing the matchup and playing it to perfection. Honestly, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a little surprised, honestly, that, you know, you're being bullied out somewhat by this Elder Titan. You don't want to leave, of course, Enryu just to get the business given to him, but I feel like Sumail could have potentially made a bit of a rotation through to mid to make his life a bit easier. He's going to go in onto Jackie here. And Axe, though, he's got those 2 points now in the Astral Spirit. You got to be really careful. Even a Centaur's going to take the damage.
It's looking spicy.
That's the rotation I was wanting, though.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to see a lot of plays come through from the Grimstroke. and also the Storm Spirit throughout the early stage of this game. Just the ink swell into the zip on. It's kind of their only real way. I guess you can use swashbuckle, but that's going to be swashbuckling in on top of someone can always be a bit difficult for a Pangolier. So we'll see how Bob and also Zenki are able to play in the next 5 minutes or so.
I think they pinged out the fact that there was this, the observer ward here, the sentry going to do double effectiveness. I mean, that's the...
Stupendous!
It's like a silver lining, right? The Grimstroke gives up the first blood top, but that it allows him to TP mid, refill the bottle, and be part of a gank onto the mid lane. So it kind of recovers one of their lanes, but it came at the cost, of course, of just enabling Masseros to have a really good start. Yeah,
and you already see the stacks that Q's starting to create around the triangle camp. They're just going to put a lot of emphasis on the Medusa, and Motivate really have a good lineup to also protect the stacks, like someone with an Elder Titan, the Ember that can get involved early as well. And you take a look at the vision though, like Dire are aware of this, and they already do have a ward kind of set up around the triangle, but down bot and Ryu taking a bit of damage here. Looks like Jackie with another round up in the Mystic Snake in a couple of seconds. Can they get the Vortex drag back? Jackie still... No, it's not enough damage now. He's overstepped the mark. Jackie really wanted that kill on the Centaur. Well, there's the combination I was speaking about. Zenki and Storm Spirit getting involved early there to be able to protect the Centaur.
Yeah, small misplay there from Jackie. He didn't actually commit in when you had the Astral Spirit. They had the range, they had the movement speed to be able to catch him up. Pango's going to die and return, but this is a decent amount of damage and creeps being lost under the tower. So obviously it sucks that your Deuce is going down, but the supports have enabled him. Just look at this. Q, he's on this stack train again.
Yeah, that's actually no joke of the damage mid. They force Glyph, Catapult still alive. That's going to be about half the health pool of that tier 1 tower getting claimed already. But top lane, Bob, would you see the aggressiveness that's looking to come through from the Storm Spirit early? Masseros, is the sprint enough? It's not. Only 1 point needed, unfortunately, but it does show a couple heroes top. But it's actually the Stampede and now the double supports mid from South Build that bring down Fearless. So the rotations from South Build Esports, letting them a couple early kills.
Getting a little bit too confident at the start of the game, Fearless. He had a very good laning stage, but all of those deaths coming for no real reason, to be honest. And, you feel like you can be a bit more confident when Bob's not there. His rotations have been perfect, like literally pixel perfect for the mana cost. He's always been able to get away or just get the kill in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just wondering if Fearless might have... He just respawned as the 8-minute mark came up. If the Remnant was top, could he have tried to go in and snatch that one away? Bob was waiting right there, though, to be able to pick up this invis, so this is even more important.
See, Bob's also got that Orchid queued up as well, so if you can get that at good timing. They're setting up for Jackie mid. Doesn't have any reinforcements in the area at the moment. It's actually Lion Axe that's getting dived onto the tier 1 tower down bot, but without the Stampede to be able to close the distance, he's got Boots, Windlace, and also that buffed up Astral movement speed.
He's just trying to say, look at me, guys. Tower's not important. And that's pretty good. I mean, the tower, in my opinion, is the most important thing on this map right now. He's going to end up dying eventually, but this is a 5.
It's so much space. It's so much space. He's also now to the tier 2, but I think he's not going to be healthy enough for these rotations to come out. But yeah, meanwhile, this top tower is going to get claimed, and now Radiant, I don't think they can do anything else with getting that tier 1 first, but just space.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay with Q TPing down there. There's no way he would have been able to save him. They've taken top tower, but I feel like this was much more important for South Build, to be honest, to be able to take that one. Yeah, it was a lot of space, but now the Storm Spirit can look to rotate through the jungle a lot easier. If they're able to somehow take away some of these tri-camp stacks, that's going to be super important for them. I feel like Jackie's not going to be setting foot in his jungle too much longer, though.
Yeah, and we'll see if Dire can contest these or not, but it looks like Jackie, he's kind of got a wall of heroes around him that are blocking out any river infiltration movements from South Build at the moment.
Any stacks on the Dire side? There's one at the hard camp of the tri-camp area, but there was just one other one made next to the tier 2 tower. So there's a little bit for this anti-mage to be able to pick up, but he is still a fair ways away from that.
Fearless. He's already used 3 remnants, so he's in trouble. Inkswell, nice use of the dodge from the slot. And Fearless, but it's not going to matter. A Bart comes in to clean up the kill.
That's going to help him on his way. I mean, he had to go into the extra points and the perseverance because of how much Masaros was harassing him out, which means, of course, he's going to be farming a lot slower. That kill, though, brings him right back on track.
Yeah, he's still, taking a look at the net worth. He's still a bit behind. That is kind of the issue, the Anti-Mage versus the Medusa matchup, is that Medusa doesn't need to go into this farming steroid item. You've already got that split shot, even the Mystic Snake as well. So you're going to have a much greater time early on to be able to accumulate net worth over someone like the Anti-Mage.
He's just sitting up in these trees right now. Not sure why. I don't think the lane's going to be pushing out to you anytime soon, as he does make that TP in towards bottom. As the wave with the siege creep starts to push through, he's going to be just fine. And actually, could they get a kill onto a Bart here with this smoke coming through?
Someone's going to be ready for a blink away. Oh, there's the chains. And now with the counter spell, it's already taken out of effect. Cute. It's just going to put him in the grave there. Make sure there's no opportunity to reset. But Slider setting up pretty far forward here. He's tanky with the itemization. Let's see if they can come over fast enough for Motivate. They've gone too far from Southfield, and then they try and reset. Soulbind's out, leeching up the Slider along with the Amber Spirit, but still, Samael's Rolling Thunder does the trick, controlling up Masaros. So maybe was hoping, you did see how tanky Slider was there. Maybe was just hoping for some faster movements from bot to mid, but regardless, that's a big kill on the Anti-Mage at the bottom side, and then they even get the Pangolier as well.
I wonder if they even look to commit it onto this mid lane. I mean, you see Bob's only at half mana. You know that they don't have the Rolling Thunder. The Soulbind was used as well. So this mid tower, at least forcing the glyph. No, actually, they've already used the glyph. Masaros, he's just going to go on the top side. He feels tanky enough now. He's got the raindrops, he's got the bracer, he's got the hood. He's a pretty beefy boy.
It's also got 3.6 strength gain, so it's even just going to get harder and harder to kill this Slider as the game goes on. He's got that Blink Dagger queued up as the next item. But the opposition position 3 has already got his Blink picked up here. Enryu, the most farmed hero for Southfield Esports at the moment. So we'll see how that Blink's going to come into play. Bob zipped in, but did he get the start of the fight he was looking for? Nice silence onto Masaros is going to prevent the crush follow. But they even dropped the Earth Splitter as well, but they might lose the Storm still. Zip and Stampede gives him the space, but Ember's committing forward. Another Remnant as well. Fearless, he wants blood. He's going to dive underneath the base. The Amp with the slide, it's not enough, and now he needs to retreat away. Dodges out the Rolling Thunder. Looks like space for the tower. Man, that damage is through the roof. Max out slide with corrosive haze. One more should be enough from Fearless, and there we go. This is going to be so difficult now for Southfield Esports. You just see that the poke and prod they have. They need to defend this.
Blind now.
Radiant didn't commit too much either as well. They're going to be able to find the Pango and Ryu. As counter initiation, Bob's going to zip past the Radiant heroes though, but now with the Rolling Thunder around the choke point, is the Stone Gate going to allow them to reset the fight? They've already lost Fearless, but they will at least get a return kill on Enryu. Southfield still coming over to try and make some revenge happen. But it looks like Samael going in is going to cost him his life, and Zenki will fall as well. 3 down from Dire as they tried to successfully defend their stacks on the higher ground, but they weren't able to.
They even dropped the sentry ward for good measure, just to make sure that it's going to be a little bit of extra time until Abart's going to be able to take that away. He's nearly finished up his Battle Fury. He actually has it coming out to him now. So the rotation's coming through. Man, imagine if they could snipe this this courier on the way to the anti.
Oh, that would not be good for the AM. I don't think they'll have that opportunity. Yeah. But just look at like the net worth disparity now between the 1 and the position 1 from either team. The fact that they took that stack, won that team fight, and it's Jackie getting involved as well with a couple of kills and assists, and he's just continuing to grow in this lead. It's very cute. Oh, he showed himself at the wrong time there, but that is a smoke just for the line support. I think you don't really care about that from motivators. You still have your cores farming them out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we talk about, being tanky enough. We've got Jackie here. who's just being able to continuously farm. He's got his S and Y already, and he's just going straight into that that Acceptor. It's exactly what they need.
They got the route to start, and Mastros should be able to get the extra stun. Doesn't even need it. Lion Axe with that big ulti claims the 5 times killing streak.
Yeah, it just feels like there's no real way. I always hate playing with an anti-mage just because you feel like you're playing 4v5 at a huge disadvantage until at least, at the very best, like the 25-minute mark. You know, he's not going to be a continuous contributor to team fights. And your map is just going to shrink further and further, and as a Deucer, you're not really worried about going to late game. Right? You can outcarry almost every other core in the game. You know, Anti-Mage is going to have his very strong timing, of course, at around the 35 or so minute mark, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to deal with how much Jackie's Deuce has been able to get. And this stack will be enough for that Aghanim Scepter as well.
Yeah, speaking about the Aghanim Scepter, are you a fan of it as a second item here for Jackie?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I feel like their game plan is basically don't let Jackie die, and you know, it gives you a ton of stats. It allows you to, you know, counter engage quite easily just with the use of one spell. I feel like it's very, very rare that you're going to just get 100 to 0. And there he goes, he picks it up. Probably see the movement come through here. Lion Axe, he's got the smoke, he just swaps it in.
Is under attack.
So I was just seeing if he could stack in the meantime or get a little bit of extra gold, but no, they're just going to push out this extra wave. Smail reveals itself.
Slides on cooldown now for Felix. He might be in trouble. He wasn't able to dodge the hook stomp there from Enryu, and nice quick pick there from South Built.
It was, but you know, it shows like it was only 6 seconds, right? But it was a long time where they were just standing around with 3 heroes, Lion Axe, Masteros, and Jackie, not actually doing anything because they were just waiting for that smoke of deceit to, you know, move from the backpack, and that was enough for them to rotate through.
We're even gonna see Masteros.
No.
Yeah, I wonder if they wait for the level 12 on Slaughter. That extra 5 arm reduction could be pretty impactful, especially if like a team fight breaks out as well.
Yeah. Centaur's got the blink as well, which is pretty huge. You know, if they're able to catch out, for example, the Elder Titan or the Lion, I feel like that's going to be enormous for their team fighting potential, but just constantly posturing around the Roche pit.
Oh no, not the Courier. Masteros. He's actually going to jump aggressively on the Pango, but Samael should be fine there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And that's enough, you know, they've been able to bully them away enough. Anti-Mage has revealed himself on the bottom lane. They have no way to TP through to the tier 1 tower, so it's going to be a while until he reaches them. With that corrosive haze, it should be enough to be able to secure this for themselves.
And this is a big Roche now. It's going to really enable Motivate to take some objectives off the map, which is going to continue to limit the farm that the Anti-Mage can get.
What if they give this to Fearless?
They're setting up on a bar. Masteros, he already gets the amplification off as well. Now with the double chain, sets up the Earth Square on bye-bye. Anti-Mage, now Enryu as well. Has to stampede to reset, but Q's in with the Finger of Death. Gone goes 2 heroes on South Build. Gone goes the Roshan as well, as Jackie will pick up the Aegis. They might even be able to get Zen Key. Masteros, he knows the Grimstroke's nearby, and there's no cancel. So there's no way to TP out as Zenki. That's his demise here at the mid lane.
I love that early TP from Masteros, right? You might think, oh, they've got to really rush to take down Roshan, but he made sure he had the 3 stacks of the Bash of the Deep. He TPs a little bit earlier than the rest of his team, and that allows him to get in onto the front lines, and the rest of the team, great coordination once again, and Lion Axe with a perfect Earth Splitter to finish off AM.
Dire's top tower
just continuing to slow down the Anti-Mage's timings here as well. We do see Bob's going to get a tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they're probably going to get top side as well, though. So I think right now you're fine with this if you're Motivate. Like, you're not really at any sort of risk of being ratted. Whereas, you know, there is definitely, of course, the base risk when you've got a Medusa 5k net worth ahead of everyone else in the game with Aegis. So I feel like it's something that you're willing to concede for the potential of being able to go high ground.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's an arcane. Is there a battle going to break out around that? Storm? No.
not even willing to zip on it, Storm, with the regen popped. He could have zipped all the way there. He's just keeping these lanes as pushed out as possible. That deep observer ward is going to enable him to do that. What are they going to lose in return, though, as they're smoked up around this top side of the map? In the center.
I think he's out of this one.
Shane lockdown.
Oh, they missed a stun. Okay, it's not going to matter. Stampede's on cooldown now.
I said they can't rat. They're still going to do their best to do it on this bottom side of the map to try and take some attention away, but you just look at the damage potential from this anti-mage versus the Deucer.
Bob? Oh no. Slido still got blink follow-up just out of range. You see how Samael, though, they got the bash. And now he's in trouble. Mastros has already got more attacks in to set up for another bash, and Pain goes just down. It's just radiant, their mobility across the map. Like Ember is so mobile, Slider with sprint and blink, you've got Q with the blink as well. It's just so difficult for them to rat this game for South Build. That it feels like that's their only way they can delay it, though.
Huzzah!
Alright, so what's happening next? They've got complete vision that this is how they're looking to posture themselves around eventually taking back the outpost, but you can see Mastros, he's hungry, he's hunting. You know, we talk about his tankiness, he's got that blink dagger, he's got that ogre axe as well. He's gonna get caught out.
He's gonna jump in here to try and burst down the Grimstroke. It's a nice acquisition. Lion Axe again! We'll bring down the Grimstroke, but Samael, he wants some revenge. They didn't do too much follow-up afterwards, but they're still standing the ground right now for Motivate. It's a wasted Rolling Thunder. It looks like it's time to reset. But can he get out of the Pangolin? Nice use of Swashbuckle, gets some distance. He's trying to link up with the team towards the southwestern side, but they won't connect fast enough.
Man, that was such a great slide of fist there by Fearless as well. He actually had the blink dagger coming off cooldown just after he used that slide of fist, so it was enabled them to get the kill. Again, just fearless play coming through from Masaros, going in forwards. Lion Axe is seriously impressing me. Like, I don't know why he's always been kind of on like the tier 2 tie team, you know? He is looking completely at home with this roster.
Yep. Oh yeah, he is. And well, guess what? A DD on Jackie to go up the high ground and siege. What more could you ask for? He's almost level 20 as well, which is going to be another big talent timing for the Medusa.
He's got Satanic as well, by the way.
Yep, that is incredible farming speed that Medusa's been able to show so far this game, and Ryu does a great job of being able to pull off this mid creep wave, so they will have to go through backdoor protection.
TPing back, creeps won't see him, so they've been able to at least defend their axe, which is always useful to have, of course. And by delaying that as well, the next glyph of fortification is going to be available. It's only 10 seconds until the Aegis is reclaimed, so some good adaptation coming out here from Southfield.
Solar Crest just picked up as well for Lion Axe, so now they got that available. Nice observe ward, and once again they're going to be careful. But no, he's going to get caught. He needs help and he needs it now. Where's the combination coming through from Southwood? And Ryu tonight doing something. Going to try and bring down Lion, which they will be able to do so successfully. And Bart protected as well from the start of the fight from Motivate, but they'll get a second and controlling up Samael as well. Rolling Thunder, Swashbuckle gets a little bit of distance here on the high ground, but Motivate, fearless as they are, diving deep inside.
Wants to pop the glyph. I'm not sure how much this is going to do. It's just delaying the inevitable. No heroes are going to be alive to be able to defend it. Bob might go for the zip through just to be able to...
That's gave me a bit of a heart attack there. I'm sure Bob was scared as well.
Everything was squeezing at that time, I think.
Yeah.
Top tower is under attack.
Full set of racks mid, and why not head up to the top side as well? You are... Yeah, they didn't really take any punishment there from Motivate. They still got a lot of health and a lot of mana to work with.
Yeah, they used the Rolling Thunder as well, so you're not all that worried about, you know, being gone on here.
Mastros. This is the crush, but you see just one slight damage with the Corrosive Haze brings Zenki's health pool down to half.
And it's only going to get worse. I mean, Fearless is going into the Desolator.
Oh no.
I did not think the laning stage would go this well for him. And this is the result, right? He didn't need to go that Maelstrom that I was talking about in the early game. Samael? Cooldown.
They're gonna jump the Medusa, burn out of all the mana. Okay, Southbuilt. Nice way to start the fight. Fearless pops the magic move and is gonna try and look to turn to deal with Enryu, but now with the back line, Southbuilt, they've gone on all the supports. They've brought down Ryan. They've also brought down the Elder Titan, but they don't have the control right now for Fearless. He's gonna be able to TP out, but it looks like Mastros, that's the next target. Is the Vortex there from Bob? All the damage, it's not. So Southbuilt, they will defend their top set of barracks here. Getting a big kill on the Medusa as well.
Yes.
For sure, just that chain lockdown. Opting to go towards the butterfly ahead of the Aghanim shard. I don't mind it, you know, but there is still a decent amount of physical damage that's getting laid in onto. Of course, being able to dodge out the swashbuckle as well is always really nice, but it wasn't enough that time around. They were able to burst him down. That mana void coming in clutch. Is that going to...
Are Radiant going to be able to defend mid? Nice manta dodge. Whoa.
There was a bucket in that. Is that the Scardy? Yeah, he's got a full Scardy now as well. Alright, we've got a core.
We do. And it's only a 3,000 net worth lead, and Southbuilt really have a way to defend Super Creeps right now. So you know, we should see them do an okay job. It's just, can the anti-mage, you know, is these items enough to be able to man fight the Medusa?
I honestly think he still needs one more item, and so having this double damage, of course, very effective. He's just going to try and flip push as much as possible. He's got a little bit of defense coming from these defensive observer wards, but they found out the Pango.
Death to all betrayed.
Just a quick kill and Lion Axe as well. Looks like he thought he had an opportunity to maybe de-ward the area, but he's gonna get punished there, and it's just now really, I think either team are gonna try and reset for the next minute or so, where we're gonna see now the next Roshan is the real big objective here, and I think it now comes down to what team is able to get set up with their vision around the area.
Yeah, and it should come up around the exact same time that Jackie's finished up his butterfly. He's got the Aghanim shard queued up, but might not even need it. And again, we talked about the real way to be able to deal with a Deuce is either chain lock him down and burst him down with a crap ton of damage, or outrange him. And that Grove Bow is doing him a lot of work, just to provide that little bit of extra range, of course.
Yeah, it feels nice when you're playing a hero like Medusa, and like the perfect item for you to get is something like the Grove Bow, and you get lucky enough for the neutral is Fearless.
It's going in deep. I don't know about this one.
BKB is about to expire. Okay.
There's that butterfly. And
they know the BKB is on cooldown.
They do, so I don't know about going in this deep. He's still going to be able to grab the regen rune. Wow.
Roshan's up in 20. With that kill on the Grimstroke, maybe Radiant can now have a numbers advantage to get some vision down around the top river area of the map.
Yeah, at minimum, I'd look to take away this outpost, just, you know, deny him a lot of this vision, a lot of this safety, this buyback TP escape net. I mean, what have they got in terms of buybacks? You got it on Bob, you got it on the Centaur, and that's it right now. Pretty close on the Pango, though.
Yeah, Grimstroke just got his as well. So we got 3 available here from Dire. And it does feel like those buybacks are going to be pretty important here for a big fighter around the river, as you know, they're going to smoke up. Q might actually be in a position to pop this though.
It is.
He does, but they find him.
Dominating.
And that's just the swashbuckler just predicting where a hero would be. They smoked on top of the creeps, and are Radiant are instantly out. They're going to smoke themselves. Lion are unable to rejoin them though. Where's the vision coming to play? Instantly jump into Grimstroke, but the Bard's gonna come through. Radiant gonna try and reset to the western side of Bard. He blinks in aggressively. Bard, no! Where's the lockdown though? Esports gonna get popped. Nicely done for Bob. Pulling back Jackie. Now with the Stampede, they can reset if they want to, but Enryu's losing an immense amount of his health pool just brought down for the bash. And now Southbuilt, they're all disconnected here as the team. They're gonna Delta split away from the river, but it just allows Motivate to go back into Roche. It also allows the Lion that respawn timer to get ticking through. He's going to be up in a couple seconds here. That lockdown could be so vital for someone like a Storm. And there's the outpost coming to play as well. Blick in, Bar. Nice shooting spot, but now with the mana on cooldown, they won't have this for someone like Jackie. They just tear him apart. Bart's got He's got a buyback to come back and help out here, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do so. Jackie is currently unscathed through these 5 bombs, going to end up costing it as well. As they're now jumping Zenki, bye-bye. The damage is through the roof, all the minus armor, but you got to be careful.
There is no safe.
Blink's still on cooldown, but it looks like Radiant, the eyes are on Roche.
They're playing so carefully. I mean, South Built realize how important this Roche is in the context of the game, but the fact that you had to use multiple buybacks, you're still probably going to lose the Roche. This puts them in a really bad spot. I feel like the timing potentially for them wasn't on any of their core heroes. It was on the
Oh, Samael. That's so much minus armor. All the corrosion, Deso with the maxed out corrosive haze. He's even got the enchanted quiver as well.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's a lot of burst damage, and yeah, like I was saying, I feel like it was the Aghanim Scepter on the Grimstroke that could have potentially been the thing to turn the tide for them. You know, if you're able to get that in onto the Deucer, that's a lot of damage that you're able to, again, pump out your way, especially if you're in a really safe position defending the high ground. But now, with him going down, losing the Aegis, Deucer has the Aghanim Shard as well. It feels like an incredibly hard prospect. And then on top of that, of course, you've enabled the win condition with the Anti-Mage being one of those heroes to use the buyback.
Yeah, there is a big window of opportunity now for Radiant to be able to take this game.
Look how confident Jackie is in, like, okay, I'm tanky enough. He had a Blink Dagger queued up, but he switched it into a BKB. I was about to say, like, just jump in on the back lines and kill the supports.
See, what's Lion Axe got? Yeah, 4-star picked up. Is more than likely going to be another, like, utility item just to dump on Jackie.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Smoked up is South Bill. They don't have really good vision, unfortunately, across the map. Do they have any wards available? Where are the supports? They do not.
I know it's a very minor thing, but at the moment, Abad, he's got the Ring of Regen in his inventory instead of the Buckler. With all this minus armor, I feel like that 2 armor is actually going to be pretty significant for the rest of his team.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Very much so. You'll take all you can get against the minus armor that Motivator dishing out at the moment. It's a scary, scary prospect. We see the supports getting brought down with ease. And now you're going to go up against a high ground push from Motivator.
He's desperately trying to farm up this AC just for every little bit of extra armor that he can get. Killed Fearless's Courier so that he knows he's in the area. He was just able to snag the Ancients before getting out. You're always so worried. I mean, this is the downside of having a lack of vision, right? Having to play super careful on this Anti-Mage. She wants to be farming as quickly as possible. And if he dies, you just lose the game. So he cannot be aggressive.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
He still needs a lot of gold to that AC. He's going to come back. Nice slide dodge. And now Enryu's a bit of a tricky spot here. It's bringing it down. He's got no buyback above. It's going to get caught out as well. The Echo Sum's going to get reduced. And now Samael, it's a great blow with Thunder controlling up Mastros with the BKBs. The magic being enough. It's not. They get the last right click, but the Stone Gaze Jackie. It's going to push back South Bill. They're able to retreat back to the safety of the tier 4 tower, but the issue is that their barracks are still under siege from the raid boss of Jackie.
And he's level 25 as well, so that split shot modifiers could potentially be what he uses. Hell, he doesn't even have many items that are doing that. Like, there's no Scardy just yet, so he could just go the intelligence. No, still going to go with the modifiers.
Never refuse gold.
And he's even got BKB in the backpack. Like, that's just... he's got items on items this game.
Yeah. Alright, AC finally picked up here by a bar. He actually, when he TP'd back, he had a bounty rune that had just spawned, so maybe he could have got it slightly faster for him and the rest of his team, but still pretty significant timing. I mean, he's going to farm at least one more creep wave just to get that level 25 for himself. What could it be for? Probably the counterspell magic resistance, just so that you stop getting burst down by this lion. No! Forget me, forget my opinion. Man of
20-second Mana Void cooldown now for the Anti-Mage. We'll see how impactful that's going to be with the ultimate. You know, previously, Jackie does have 2k mana. You know, they're actually going to go in. They're going to be so careful. Once again, you see this stone getting burnt to death now as Enryu and Feels in the backline as well. Abad has to try and reset, but the Lincoln's actually going to pop the Soulbind there.
it just seems like a slow death at this point, unfortunately, for South Builds and their fans. I mean, how are you going to deal with this? Aegis Deucer still has 30 seconds left on it. That's plenty of time to be able to take out this last wave of racks.
Radiant structures are
They even pop the glyph to make sure Storm can't deal with the wave. Very nicely done. And that's going to mean that the backdoor protection, it's not going to be able to come online in time. Sumail not even getting lucky enough to get the
Dire's
shot.
top barracks has fallen.
He's going to try for it again. If he misses this, like, okay. He actually got the disarm that time, but still, someone's not on Southfield's side today.
Gonna try and jump at Bob, but instantly stunned up in the Bastion. Now can they chain lock him down? Bob gets a BKB. Now it's going to look to turn the Earth Spitter directly laid on Jackie, so he's going to be protected now with the Earth Spike as well. The Antimate doesn't have a buyback. And that's going to be all she wrote here with 3 heroes on Southfield. They're unable to do it. They call it quits. The side of Motivate are able to take this game 1 here in a really, really strong fashion.
Yeah, really nicely done. I mean, this is what we were expecting going into this, right? Undefeated so far, not even a single game being dropped in the DPC lower division with Motivate. And again, like, I felt like laning stage went a little bit too well, particularly for the mid lane. The fact that Jackie was able to get that ancient stack steal was huge. I don't think there was enough stacks perhaps being built up by South build side. Of course, Anti-Mage, he still would have taken at least 15 minutes to be able to build up, but I mean, even Bob, he could have taken some and enabled that Orchid a little bit earlier. I still think Bob played a very good early game though, right? He was rotating around.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team banned. Dire team banned.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second game here between Southfield Esports and Motivate Trust. Trusty Santa is back with us once again. We love to see the hat always coming out. Doesn't matter about the year.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's April, no, May now, actually. God damn, the year's going by pretty fast. And, well, I just wanted to remind everyone about the giveaway. I had someone in chat ask about it. You know, what is it? We've only had 3 people enter so far, so you got to be in it to win it. I also saw someone spend 8,000 channel points on me playing them a song instead of actually entering the giveaway, and I think that's a bit of a mistake because there's a lot of good stuff to do. And I'll be honest, I'll probably play you guys a song anyway at the end of it all, so you know, use your points for something that can be good. But the giveaway, it's something that I'm going to be sending out to you. You don't need to worry about postage or anything like that. And there's a bunch of little things involved in it. There's a little cute Tide Hunter pin that you can pin onto your stuff. There's a Dota themed deck of cards still in the plastic. This is all stuff from TIs, by the way. There is a little Dota notebook, which is pretty cool, Dota themed. And the granddaddy of it all is retailing for about $200 dues, a pair of sealed Samsung Galaxy Buds. So I'll be sending them out to one of the people that enters into the raffle there. I'm only going to do one thing, not multiple prizes, because that postage from Australia really starts to add up.
Yeah, it does.
We'll, I legitimately, last giveaway, I spent like $90 on postage sending those out to 3 people.
Jeez.
That's what I do for you, chat. You know, I read you, I watch you, I make sure you're behaving, but sometimes I'm casting, so just, you know, behave. But make sure you're saving up those points predicting in particular, just so that you can get those extra ones there. Another easy way to get 300 points is just hitting the channel with a follow and save up those 5,000 points you've got today and the rest of week 5, which is the next time that Aries and I will be casting, to be able to save those up. And then we'll be doing the draw at the end of the last stream. So yeah, make sure you're doing that. But we're in a draft, and again, Grimstroke gets let through. Why? I don't know.
That's a very good question. That is a very good question. It looks like South Built were like, you know, Lionax, your ET so far has been dominant through every game you played. And they're like, all right, you know, we're okay with letting the Grimstroke through. And South Built go for the Abaddon, which this is an interesting 2-3 pick from South Built.
I normally think, like, you know, you want to see heroes that are good at comboing together for something really good, you know, an Abaddon Death Prophet, for example, because you're not necessarily revealing the lane. You know, Abaddon Leshrac is also very strong, but it's much more common that you're going to see that Lesh in the position 2, very occasionally the position 3 roles. So I'm not certain about this Razor, just because, you know, it just feels like it needs to be in response to something as opposed to just a standalone pick. But that Grimstroke, it's still so nuts, man. Like, in the most recent patch, what did they do to it? They nerfed it slightly, I believe. So movement speed bonus from Inkswell was reduced by 2%. Stun duration was reduced at max level by 0.2, but it's actually increased by 0.1 at level 1. So, you know, there's that. And yeah, they didn't touch the shard. So I've said over and over again, and sorry to Grimstroke spammers, but I'm going to keep saying this until this hero isn't just guaranteed first pick material. You could take away the bonus to the damage and the healing that you get from Inkswell when you use it on a target, and just do the hard dispel when it expires, and it would still be very, very strong. So I think that should be the baseline for that shard in particular.
Well, obviously, Daddy Gaben doesn't think that Inkswell is somehow not busted, which, you know, we saw the Beastmaster, you know, rightfully so got nerfed, but the For some reason, the Aghanim Shard and the Grimstroke just was untouched, which I was really, really surprised by when I was reading through those notes.
All right, so I'm just reading the chat right now. There has been one person that's redeemed because of the giveaway, so that's very nice. But we've also had someone spend 3,600 on me playing them a song. Save your points. It's free stuff. You've got it like, you know, you enter the lottery sometimes. It's like a 1 in, 50 billion chance. This is like a 1 in 10 chance probably at the end of this all. So I would take that if it was me. Anyway, it's free, whatever. You can do what you want with your points. Who am I to tell you? But we've also got a Morphling being picked up here by Motivate. You know, something that Jackie's been, you know, pretty good on. Again, it just enables you to have a lot of that kill potential. It means the Grimstroke can be flexed between that 4 and the 5 roll. Q's been playing it, Lionax has been playing it, and kind of similar to the Weaver, it means that you can use the waveform a lot more aggressively, kind of like with the Shikuchi, to be able to go for kills super early on into the game. So I think at level 2, maybe level 3, they could be opting to do that kind of play here on Motivate.
Is this a hero that Fearless can potentially run in the mid lane, or is it more than likely just Jackie?
I think it's Jackie. It's not a Fearless style of hero for sure. But you know, players play anything that they want in their pubs. I mean, I've got my trusty add-on that shows me people's past 10 game history. Jackie 9 game win streak, Q 8 game win streak, Fearless has won, Lionax has won 9 out of his past 10 games. Fearless as well, he's won 6 out of his past 10, so you got to step it up. But yeah,
seconds remaining.
Morphling, it's much more of those tempo heroes that he loves to play. I mean, you talk about the Leshrac, that's what Fearless plays. Leshrac, Invoker, Void Spirit, Storm Spirit, Puck. Conquer a little bit. You know, I've had people talk to me about, oh, that 10 movement speed's going to be the difference maker. No, I just don't think he's good against a lot of these other mid laners right now. Maybe he could get away with a 4, but I feel like position 4 heroes need to be
10
like
seconds remaining.
Team fight enablers, if that makes sense. So like any of
5 seconds remaining.
the initiating heroes do that. You know, Clockwork, Earth Spirit, Tusk, they all do that. Phoenix just enables you to be so much tankier in a fight. Kunkka, I guess he can a little bit with his boat, but it's not as reliable as a lot of these other setups for him. So I feel like Kunkka still kind of isn't on the map right now.
Yeah, we do see Kunkka as a bit of a specialist for individual players. I know CIS have a lot more priority on it. You know, you've got no one who can just play it. It is always a treat to watch a no one Kunkka, but you know, taking a look at this at the moment, Southbuilt, it seems like they need some way to get that lockdown on the morph. I wonder if they're just going to go for like a Lion here, or you know, Shaman fulfills a pretty similar role. Is there a reason why
well, we see it
you go Shaman over Lion?
In Southeast Asia, right? Like this is a China special for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure why they didn't use the Lion, honestly. You know, it provides exactly the same level of lockdown as you would with a Shadow Shaman. You don't have to channel for it, which means that something like a Clockwork or hell, even a Grimstroke with the silence isn't going to be able to interrupt that lockdown if you're on point. And I feel like against a Morphling, you need the burst potential as well. So I feel like the Finger of Death would have been much better for Southbuilt here.
Yeah, maybe they're just looking to have the Serpent Wards as a way to take objectives, because does the Razor really fulfill that role as like an objective taker early?
Not really. I mean, if you get the 1 point into the Curse of Avernus on the Abaddon, then, you know, maybe you can do it. It's one of those heroes like, again, I feel like Southbuilt's lineup, there is no one that wants to just stand and hit towers right now. You know, like Storm Spirit doesn't want to do it. Shadow Shaman, I guess the Serpent Wards can kind of force a fight, and then you can, you know, use your strong team fight potential with the Abaddon, with the Razor and the static link. And then once you're static linked and you've got a lot of extra damage, then you can progress into taking a tower. But it's not something that you're just going to stand and, you know, start hitting away, at least until you've got that Axe. But we know towers are very important as all stages in Dota, and it's going to be at least 30 minutes until you pick up that Axe.
Yeah, well, we saw Bob have quite the performance on the Storm Spirit, at least KDA wise. I think we were both surprised when we got off screen there. We looked at his KDA again and we're like, hang on a second, he actually had a really solid game, but it just didn't really feel as impactful, I think, through a lot of the mid game and late game fights. So he's going to pick up the Storm once again, but we see quite the comfort hero for Motivated, the Death Prophet now.
This is a fantastic pick coming from Motivate.
Yeah.
You know, all of the weaknesses that I talked about with just Southbuilt's draft, Death Prophet just solves
10
them all.
seconds
And
remaining.
you talk about like strong laner, very fast movement speed,
5
so you're going to be able to get
seconds
away from the Razor most of the time. You naturally build into stuff that increases your movement speed as well, which is fantastic. Yule Scepter, of course, you can just use offensively on the Razor to be able to create that break distance. And that's not even talking about the silence, which is fantastic against 3 of these heroes so far. Abaddon can't use that borrowed time if you're silenced. Shadow Shaman, you shackling away at someone. Nope, you're silenced. I think the range is way too long on it. And of course, great against the Storm Spirits. So really liking the DP pick for Motivate.
Yeah, and it's something that they can play in multiple roles as well. You can give it to Fearless mid, you can give it to Masros in the off lane, and now you've got a little bit of flexibility heading into it. You know, it looks like South built, they're still worried about the potential of the Fearless Ember Spirit, who did have a very good lane versus Bob.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining. Dire
There's more
team
people
pick.
redeeming me singing a song.
They just want to hear you sing, that's it.
But not Ignition, that's for sure. We'll pick something else. Maybe something a bit more wholesome than that. We shall see.
What are they looking here for Motivate with their
seconds
last pick? They still got a bunch of time left as well in the reserve bank.
5 seconds remaining.
Well,
Motivate, they've got the time to be able to take this. Like they're going pretty quick into the Legion Commander. It's fine, you know. Good way to lock someone down. Again, just purge off the Shadow Shaman shackles. You can just duel the Razor, for example, if he's trying to chase someone that isn't you. Might make the laning
10
setup a little bit
seconds
hard if it's a
remaining.
Razor 1, for example. But
5
I think that's probably the only way that South will have to go into this. But by being so aggressive with their picks, it means that they're having to
Choose
go
your hero.
really quick with this last pick, and it's going to be a Monkey King. I want to see who's playing what. So it's actually a 3 Razor. I'm not feeling super strong about this for South build. I feel like Motivate, they've got everything that they want. And it's a 5 clockwork as well. So again, synergizes really well. Kind of fulfills that same kind of role that the ET played with the Deucer in game number 1. You know, you're just really aggressive, you're jumping in onto the backlines and just taking a lot of attention away, not leeching the experience even from Jackie, which of course as a Deuce is really important, even more so for a Morphling.
yeah, I'm just really intrigued to see how Southbound are looking to play with this Razor, because they opened with it in their second, third pick. They had a thought process coming into it of how they were looking to play the Razor. I was wondering if, you know, maybe it was always them wanting to give it to Enryu, or you know, how they were maybe played on for Bob or a Bop, but just dropping the priority and giving it to Enryu. Did you feel like what's the play style now for the Razor in this game?
Struggle Bus, Struggle City. That's
what I'm worried about.
I mean, I feel like it's just a massive outdraft, to be honest, for Motivate. Razor should have been another hero that actually enables taking towers. Very rare that Razor's just going to be banned out in the second phase. Maybe the last phase they'll do it. But of course, as well, I talked about that Shadow Shaman instead of a Lion as well. Maybe they were thinking, oh, we need more tower push because we didn't have that last game, but I don't think this is much different.
Well, this'll work. Well, this'll work.
Gonna go for the smoke, though. I've got smoke coming through. Decent level 1 clash.
It's looking spicy.
Bob's gonna need to definitely stay on this backside, though. Like, you're gonna get static remnant, and it's very rare that they're going to run into you. So, very squishy still, level 1. Who's gonna grow first? Astros. He actually popped it, but he didn't see. So Mail knows that someone's there, and they're gonna wrap around for it. Here we go.
Oh, poor Q. Who do they want to go for first? It's like, we got Q, you know, we got Masros. Masros is fine, but it looks like he's gonna get caught up here, thanks to the double stun from a Bar and also Samael as well. So they get the kill on top of the Grimstroke, and well, Masros will keep his life, however. 350 movement speed already with Windlace, wow.
Pretty ridiculous. And they get up that deep Observer Ward as well. They won't know that it's gone down just yet unless they reveal underneath vision super early on, but it's bullied them away from both of these bot runes. They're even going to get extra greedy try and go for another one. Lionax still in the cover of night. He's going to go for this tri-camp one, and I think he's going to be able to snare it for himself, but it's still a 3-for-1 trade.
Well, this'll work.
Yeah, at least they get one bounty after the first blood getting picked up early, but it does look like it could be a battle of the lanes here. Like, Raze is a really strong laning stage hero, the Monkey King a really strong laning stage hero as well, so we'll see if that's going to be the tale of the story here for South build. But I actually feel like this bottom lane is going to go a lot better for Motivate against the Monkey King, because you have a lot of burst potential with the stroke, with the overwhelming odds, so Art's really going to be careful with how he positions and how he plays aggressively, like on top of the wave.
And you talk about that strength in the laning phase as well. Now the level 1 boundless strike is increased from 0.7 to 1 second, so that's just going to enable you to you know, get a lot more, you know, that one extra right click perhaps that you might need to be able to catch out and get that early kill. Like what
you see, they just
here though, yeah, he's just dodging it out. You know, you don't want to be taking any kind of fight super early on. He's trying to block the camp. They block theirs as well. Is he going to try and drag the waves into each other?
But
he succeeds.
Nicely done. And then the range creep was pulled, so it kind of forces Mastros to now stick around. Not that he really wants to.
Yeah, really nicely.
Oh, he should be able to get it though. Oof. That's. Well, he didn't get the range creep CS before, and he didn't get that one either. At least that one wasn't denied like the previous one.
I think that's an underrated strategy. You know, like, you don't always need to get the deny. You just need to make sure that they don't get the last hit.
Yeah. It's so much gold with that range creep. It's a lot more than, of course, the melees when you stack it up. As Master says, you want the core. It might get baited into a couple of these stacks continuing to build here. But with the help of the stroke, he'll get some distance. So a lot of just poke and prod occurring down at this bottom side as we take a look mid with Bob and Fearless. How do you think this matchup's going to fare with the Death Prophet and the Storm Spirit?
I mean, we've seen time and time again, Bob is a fantastic player once it gets to the roaming phase, but Fearless, I think the DP is just way too strong against a Storm Spirit this early on into it. At least he's going to be able to... Nope. Scratch that. Masteros goes and slaps the water in.
Mastros is being such a nuisance right now, and well, so is Zenki. The curse... Oh, is Legion actually in trouble here? Should be able to get out with that movement speed now. He's eating a lot of damage though. Might have to drag the creeps under the tower. Not that he was really...
He's happy with it.
Not what you want to do with the pool.
He's like, well, I think he's happy to just finally get something out of this. You know, he's already got the wind lay, so I wonder if he's just going to go straight into the boots. Yeah, he is. So good luck catching this LC.
They might try and catch up the Q though instead. The curse and Jingu stacks, you see either of them are going to be able to get the 4 charges there, and Bart is able to swing on over, pick up his first kill of the game. So the lane, at least bot, going very well here for Southville. Bob is in trouble though, getting chased down. Is the Spirit Siphon with one more right click enough? It is. Death Prophet, really strong attack damage at the early stage of the game.
Really nice by Lionax as well. Oftentimes people just go in onto autopilot and like, right, level 2 clockwork, I'm getting the cogs, but making sure to have that rocket flare, and that was the extra little bit of damage that they needed, because one more right click, I feel like Storm Spirit doesn't go down. You know, he was sitting under the tier 2 tower, he has all of that extra armor, so really big play there by Lionax.
Meanwhile, this top lane, see that it's relatively even at the moment. Is this a worrying sign though, with how dominant a Raze is usually to the laning stage, and the fact that Jackie's got 13 last hits?
I've got onto him a little bit here, at least stealing him away some of that right click damage. He's going to be able to rotate through. Again, I'm just so impressed with how Lionax is able to manipulate these lanes. He's able to rotate through. He wasn't able to get the bounty room, which is probably the one plus side or Bob there, but still ended up with him going down. Yeah, I feel like they could be doing a lot more, you know, like you hit the nail on the head. You pick the Razor because you want to dominate the lane, or you pick it in response to a melee core that needs to stand up there and right click. You don't need to do that with a Morphling. You know, you've got break distance. Super early on, the shackles, yeah, it's nice, and maybe he's going to put more points into it just for the increased duration before the hook shot's coming up, but I don't know, I still feel a little useless.
Do see that Even though Bob's doing pretty well in the last hits at the moment, he's been really getting work on with the rotations, mainly from Mastros, just because he's been pulling the creeps and he's been pulling them towards when the water room is available. So I believe Bob's missed out on 2 water rooms so far, which is always going to be impactful because the Storm Spirit is someone who, you know, needs to be spamming those abilities just to keep up in farm. As Mastros Lee. Unfortunately, you'll run into Bob. Deny yourself. Oh no!
And look at this creep wave. When is the last time you saw like 2 creep waves hitting?
What's going on? That's so much farm taken away from Mastros, though. That's a big deal.
It might have been okay if you had this siege creep just underneath the tower and they were losing that, and you know Catapult was doing a lot to the tier 1, but nope, it's just a big loss for Motivate.
Yeah, it really is, and they picked the Legion though, like into this. You know, they're trying to. Well, at least to show, they picked the Legion into the Razor, which could have been a tricky matchup, and they've just tried to prioritize on pulling the wave as much as possible. So he's only got 13 last hits, and as long as Mastros can somehow get experience, then they're happy with that. But it's just so much bullying occurring.
And they're not even losing. Like he's going to lose the last hit onto the siege creep, but the rest of his wave, he was just following around this Monkey King, and they were totally fine with that. Not losing out on any experience, bullying Mastros out of the lane. He's eventually going to come back. Like, he doesn't know his limit, you know. He's happy to just continuously contest here. It is costing him a lot though in the net worth stakes. He's sitting 1,200 gold behind this Monkey King. That's a big deal.
It's a lot of damage here on top of Q. We'll see him lose his life, and now Enryu's going to tip into the mid lane as well as Fearless. He's not going to be long for this world as 2 will fall from Motivate, and Southbuild have an early lead in the second game.
Yeah, making sure to make maximum use out of that level 6 there on Bob. It was full HP, full mana. Made sure to get the zip in there. And regen rune to be able to enable that. Much more promising early stage. I mean, the plus side is that Jackie is going to be able to, you know, farm a little bit more freely on this top side. I'm keen to see what he goes because he's just going to be into that pure right click. Stealing damage from each other.
This is so weird to watch. Enryu, he's still probably going to lose his life though as the static link counteracting each other. The great TP from Samael, Plasma Field, not a high enough level there, only 1 point in it, so that will not be the kill. But we're going to see down bot a lot of action as Fearless committing for the exorcism of Bart, should be able to get the TP out. There is no way to cancel, but it looks like Zenki will still lose his life. Bob's going to TP in. He's going to be careful how much mana he uses here, because if he doesn't get the kill fast enough, then Motivate can definitely punish. But it looks like Bob in and out as he goes.
Bob Gaming doing it again.
Is under attack.
What this courier's doing running a line axe, it is empty. Just sitting around, you know. And the TP is going to come through from the Razor. Fearless has to be careful. This exorcism's done.
Yeah, Fearless came around for a little bit too long there. You saw Linax tried to scout out if there are any more TPs. Fearless has still got a nice level advantage here, so the Siphon does make it difficult for Enryu to stand his ground. Now with Q coming over, Enryu actually might just get turned on as they get the Inkswell stun connection, and they'll bring him down.
Fearless was just trying to right-click that creep that was on about 1 HP, but he had literally all of his damage stolen, so he wasn't even able to take that one out. But still, good turnaround to be able to claim that one there.
Is under attack.
And even on the top side, I feel like I'm liking the way that Razor had itemized. He would have gone down if he didn't have that infused raindrops, because he had the level 3 waveform, sorry, level 2 waveform skilled up, and the plasma field just wasn't enough damage to be able to take him out.
A couple kills through, but yeah, again, Bob is so active early. This magic damage is no joke at the early game.
And if you've got that gap closed like a Storm Spirit does, then you don't really care that a Legion Commander has nearly base 400 movement speed.
But it is a lot of space that we see right now for the Morphling. He's just free farming top. Abart does have a bit of a net worth lead at the moment. He's been in a lot more kills than what Fearless has, however. Oh, sorry, than what Jackie has.
I mean, Jackie's been part of none, so yeah, sure. But, I mean, as well, Q's farming relatively well. You know, he's been able to be part of 1 kill, still 3 deaths, but just shoving out waves past
Lane again.
Down again.
Oh, boy. The Southfield Esports, I mean, with the lineup that they have at the moment, they're really utilizing it to perfection. It's just so much early game damage and aggression that you need to dish out, knowing that, you know, the EXO, you know, is just back up, but with this on cooldown, you can't be as impactful on the map, and the Morphling as well is definitely not looking to get involved.
I mean, the way that Motivate Trust like to play is they essentially play as if they've got like 2 mid laners. That's like Fearless and Masros' style is so similar. So I feel like Southbuild's plan was, look, let's just try and get really aggressive onto one of them. Who's the easier kill? Yes, you've got the fast movement speed on the Legion Commander, but DP's pretty fast as well, and she has the Spirit Siphon to be able to keep herself healthy. So I feel like they've just gone all in onto Masros. He's basically got no game right now. He's sitting below the Shadow Shaman on net worth.
It's not a not a game you want for Masros, but they did definitely
Top tower is under attack.
put him in a tricky scenario. So this is up to some of the other heroes to motivate this game to see for them and if they can shine.
Trading tier 1s, I think Motivate are okay with this. Legion might potentially look to continue playing on the bottom side of the map. This Exorcism still having only a quarter duration left. I mean, they went for the smoke here. But yeah, Masros, I think he needs to farm. Like, he's like, dude, I cannot. I need to be able to get something out of this. So maybe they'll be able to get something happening here with Jackie, perhaps baiting a little bit, wanting Bob to go in. But Bob, he's going to get full mana back from the fountain before going back into this team fight.
Oh, nice. Hook in he goes. It's a Zenki, so it's not really the target you want. Jackie still is able to utilize this replicate of the Razor here. Nash uses the pressed attack. It's going to give Jackie some space to be able to go to work. But they're actually turning Motivate back around as Bob zips in on top of the backline. Q's still able to get the soul bind off, but Southfield, they've got the damage at the moment to be able to take this team fight around the mid lane.
And again, it feels like Masros, he absolutely needs to just be farming right now. He hasn't had an early game. They've got the haste bottled up.
Zip zap!
With the bounty.
Zip zap by bounty. Yeah, he's this is something that you see a lot of time on the Storm Spirit at the early stage. You're just magic damage is through the roof early on, and there was a while where we used to see this hero like rushing Bloodstone. You were a lot more farm orientated, but you can get as much net worth by getting kills, and he's doing just that.
And the thing is, once he gets this Orchid, like, he could just continue going in on Masros. He's not going up for any kind of tanky items. I think he might have purchased, Raindrops and the full magic wand for himself, just that he's not instantly dying in every single team fight. But then after that, he's going to Blink Dagger. And sure, it enables you to be able to take a few more fats effectively, but, I mean, you're not any more survivable for a 2,250 gold investment.
I wonder if it'll just help with this positioning to like counter initiate with the pressed attack and then maybe turn from there.
They went for the hook there on Lion Axe, but he's not missing. They dropped the Mass Serpent Woods on mid. They still want to go on this, huh?
Fearless has got EXO. Nice double silence, but they proc the borrowed time and they'll successfully defend that T1 town mid, but it does take a lot of damage nonetheless.
Important to be able to retain that. You know that they don't have the Mass Serpent Wants to be able to counter this, so it might just be I want to say a slow siege, but it's going down pretty fast.
That it is, and yeah, Radiant don't have Glyph as well, so they're just going to have to let that tier 1 go, and Bob's just trying to shove in bot instead. He's getting real close to this Orchid, however.
Still, 2 pretty important towers going down. It's going to make Masros' life a lot easier. Now you can see that he's able to farm a little bit more freely. He's just standing in the Radiant jungle. It feels like that might be the safest place for them to be. DD Rune bot side. He's going to pick that up. I'll take that for help with the farm. Perhaps, maybe. No, giving away to Fearless.
That is a incredible Battle Fury timing though from a bot. Top of the net worth, he's now got that farming steroid for himself, and we're going to see his net worth continue to skyrocket here for Southfield.
He's playing for the later game. You know, you're giving stuff away now to be able to be much more effective later on. And honestly, the game right now is still looking pretty juicy.
man. Are you surprised with how the Monkey King got those buffs? You know, the Boundless Strike seems really nice. I mean, the cooldown got rescaled, that stun duration got increased a decent amount as well at the early levels, and also the Tree Dance night vision got increased, and the talent they changed. Did you think the hero needed some buffs?
I did. I feel like the change to the Ag Scepter was just way too much. Like, yes, it was really annoying to see a monkey literally just solo Roshan because of his because of the monkey statues, but I like seeing the hero. You know, it's one of those high skill ceiling heroes. You know, just being able to make these cute little plays, dancing through the trees. It's always fun to watch a Monkey King.
Yeah, that it is. And so the first dual victory is going to come through for Mastros, so he's going to be pretty happy about that. Finally, he's getting something going for himself here on the Legion. Even the net worth is starting to continue to grow for himself as well. But I do see some very deep vision Lion Axe. Are they going to be able to punish him? No, that's a quick glimmer already picked up.
Yeah. Might sacrifice a little bit away from Masteros, but Q's ready to pick up the slack, and you know, with Masteros getting that last hit onto the Razor in that kill, plus the dual damage, he's already only 600 away from that Blink Dagger himself. Set up quite nicely with a lot of these other timings.
Hook shot, Ingswell in the river. On top of Samael, is still going to be able to drop the surf wards, and now their initiation doesn't go to perfect here for Motivate, and you know, they just end up losing the clockwork, unfortunately.
It's not terrible. They're actually giving over the Invis rune to Mastros here. Like, they've still got the Eye of the Storm popped. You had to use the Mass Serpent Ward, so they're going to want to try and take this tower. Are they going to be able to catch someone out here with the duel? It's onto...
Do they have the damage as well? See if they can burst him down. Razor taking a lot of nod. Yes, they do. Fearless on top of him. That's also level 2 in the Exorcism, but a Bard's going to come on over. Drops the Wukong, but instantly out of there as soon as he showed up to the fight. So now that's a wasted ultimate, and it frees up Motivate to be able to continue to die for free. As Samael will get chased down from Fearless's Death Prophet, and the Abaddon as well is going to get closed the distance from Lion Axe, and that is a great fight for Motivate. And that's also second duel victory.
Second duel victory, and what it does as well is the way that they took it too, right? You know that your inherent strategy or mental situation is, okay, Clockwork's still dead for 15 seconds. We can make an attempt on this tower. You know, it's only got 250 HP. They don't have the glyph, but just with being able to bottle up that Invis rune onto the Legion Commander, you catch them by surprise. So it's really good teamwork coming through there from Motivate, and kind of just getting in their heads a little bit.
Bob, hook shot, Mastros has got the duel. Is the damage going to come through? They should have the control nonetheless, and wow, that's a big kill. Bob was having an incredible game here on the Storm Spirit, and we're just seeing now, like, Mastros is building up some steam right now on the Legion. And even...
Really quick fingers there by Lionax as well. As soon as he sees him, it's under the cover of nighttime. Oh, I would have loved that regen rune bot, but Fearless is going to grab it up. Bottling someone. Masteros, yeah. But yeah, the instant hook shot that just enables the duel. Speaking of duel, it's up in another 8 seconds, so the smoke comes out. They're trying to find another. They know they haven't seen the Monkey King in a while, and they've seen that he's got Battle Fury. Good positioning here by Zenki to be able to pop the smoke.
Yeah, that's a great spot from Zenki. See, instantly as they pop the smoke, the TP and...
They've got the vision though, they want to...
From Samael.
Lionax, he's going to get the hook shot. It's an easy kill onto the Shadow Shot. Not wanting to use the duel just yet. But that should reveal...
It's a pretty important kill.
Still
pretty important kill to find.
Gonna go in.
Jump in, Bastos. You really want the Abaddon.
Stop the duel. Happy to pop the borrowed time, but we want to save that duel, particularly for the Storm Spirit or the Razor.
Radiant are scanning.
They're like, well, you've been able to defend this well. Is that there? That scan is on top of Roche. My red-green colorblindness hits me again, but no, they're smoked. They've got everything.
That's a great spot from Lion Axe. Abad's gonna come on forward, but he's stuck in the cogs now. It means he can't contest the Roshan that's getting claimed at the moment. Falling pretty low here. Can they get it on Jackie? They need to commit right now, but the X isn't outside the pit, but Jackie's still gonna be able to get the agent over the Razor as well. As Great Luke on command in front of the pit. They'll get the first light, but can they get the second? Where's the backup of Motivator? Buyback's gonna come through. The Exorcism does expire now, but looks like Motivate, they're ready to go back in. Mastros has got the blink, he's also got the jewel up and available. Can he close the distance on Bob, however? He's scouting, he gets it. Where's the backup though? Jackie's coming. Is the damage enough for the Morphling? It's not. Bob pops the Essence Ring, he's gonna zip away. Mastros has got the odds, but it's off the mark.
So close there. Yeah, I was getting a little bit nervous, you know, with everyone committing away from the Roche pit. I suppose just feeling that Jackie had the damage to be able to take it down, and really got unlucky with that bash. It was actually South.
And they're on the bar up top.
Kill.
He's in trouble here. Nice use of the hook shot once again from Lion Axe, and they just got the Monkey King into oblivion.
Out of my way.
Yeah, big deal. Yeah, they got the gold at least from the Roche. They got the experience as well, with the plasma field actually securing the last hit onto Roche. So it was snatched away by Jackie.
Dire's middle tower.
Still, things are looking a lot more promising. They're still defending the mid tower. Might cost Jackie a little.
Jesus. Oh, he's A-okay. Silence on the Storm Spirit. You see Zenki had to posture himself aggressively now with Jewel as well. Controls the Shadow Shaman. That's a lot of the lockdown from South Build. And now they'll just waste the borrowed time and turn back their attention to Zenki once it expires here. Motivate. Just see, after the landing stage, I mean, it was to be expected. South Build, they drafted for the lanes, but now just the execution from Motivate really starting to show. And finally, they'll get rid of that tier 1 tower. It's a deny from Motivate, and they've done such an incredible job to keep that standing for this long.
Yeah, just putting a little bit more gold into their coffers. You know, why not? You can see Lion Axe, he's not satisfied with you know, just being able to, you know, play that little bit more passive role. He's always on the move. He's acting as a bit of a roaming ward as he places up his own, making sure that you know, there's no defensive vision right now on South Built, and well, he's kind of standing alone here on the bottom side. They could catch him with this wraparound. The hook. Ooh, that was a real defensive zip. And guess what we got? Exorcism. It's available.
Oh no. They were going to pop it. They're like, just make sure we bring it down. I'm not going to be able to get another objective out of this, though, so...
I think you're happy with the tier 2 tower. You know, it enables the outpost to be taken. Top lane, Abad's trying to do his best to be able to take out this creep wave as quickly as possible. Put a lot of emphasis onto defending that one. They got TPs on all of their lineup. Felix might just run up. No, he's got the highest bottle. Inside's not.
That is,
So, I don't know about this. Yeah, he's just going to back off.
okay. Monkey ulti, Serpent Ward drop. Meanwhile, Bob's showing mid. Phyllis has got the yours now, and Bob's just dead. Silence on point after he comes down. The voice chat all line, and Lion Axe, he wants more blood as well. 4 stuff's already used from Ryu. But Jackie's not going to be able to utilize his link now.
They did just use the glyph on the bot side, so this should be a free tower mid too.
Dire's top tower.
Don't think they're in a position just yet to be able to go high ground, of course, with the Aegis being reclaimed or destroyed straight away after that fight around the Roche pit. But now they can play the top side. You know, you don't have any lineup that's like amazing at being able to take these ancient stacks, so they were content with leaving it for the Monkey King for the very start of the game, and Motivate, they're right back in the commanding position.
Yeah, that they are. 3,000 net worth lead, and well, we do see a big item's going to get picked up here for a bot. He's got to go that BKB as the second item. Can't complete the Sunjin Yasha. So this is going to be now... you have to go in South Build with this item, and yeah, they are. They're going to smoke up.
They do. They were playing very defensively, which means that they still haven't been able to take back their outposts. So the experience lead is going to continue creeping more and more in Motivate's favor. Might eventually revealing mid lane, the smoke, but what kind of response is this going to get? Still 15 seconds left on the Exorcism, but importantly, now Fearless, he's got that BKB, so even a Shadow Shaman's not going to be able to deal with you.
Lion Axe. Looks like he's just going to bait himself for the smoke. He's happy with taking that one off. He's down for 360 though. He did buy back previously in a couple of the past fights.
Yep. No save your mate syndrome that time around from Motivate, which is good, right? Like you didn't have the exorcism just yet. The BKB was still coming out on the courier. Yes, you're really strong on all of your other heroes, but I don't think it was quite worth it. Still considering, this push through though. They've been able to find out the morphing as he's strength morphing.
Fearless. They're actually going to charge up the X. Number the BKB pop. Fearless is taking a lot of damage, but a quick press to attack. Fearless now gets magic immunity, but he's just getting so dry. He wasn't able to utilize the Spirit Sniper Jack. He's still got the Manta, gets out of the Orchid as fast as possible. But that is a big misplay there from Motivate. BKB wasted, Exorcism wasted as well.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt too much when you lose your position 5, but I feel like they were just maybe 10-15 seconds too early on that sort of engagement. You didn't have any vision around your high ground. Clockwork was still dead. Yes, he had a tower he could TP to, but that's going to open up a lot of a window for South Build now. No exorcism for the next 2 minutes. They're just going to continue even putting the pressure on this bot side. And we can see here from Q as well, he's opting to go for the Link Dagger on this Grimstroke. So not leveling up the Inkswell Aghanim Shard, perhaps because you've got the Legion Commander, and I feel like Masteros has been pretty on point with his saves. He got one off there onto Fearless when probably shouldn't have been able to, but it just wasn't enough.
But
why wouldn't you want to give extra movement speed and healing to a Death Prophet? I can't think of why.
I can't think of why not either. Feels really good this game as well. I'm surprised he's not going into it. Style. Great vision. A bot. No, he's not able to get the BKB off that he freshly picked up thanks to the jewel. Mastros is in with a great target and Fearless. Even finds Zenki, but he's got that ulti.
Radiant's top
He's
tower
got the ulti, but they have no way to defend against this push now. And even the Abaddon, he's like, well, my borrowed time's got about the same cooldown as when Monkey King's going to be available again. So let's just abandon this top side of the map, try and get something out of the right side. What have we even got coming up? Mass Serpent Wards is available. Maybe Sabael's going to try and drop it to push in the bot tower, but they're going to be knocking on your door pretty damn soon. You might need that for defense.
Yeah, they're going to need some way to be able to hold these objectives. I mean, Exorcism about to be back up. He's got that 3 points up in the ultimate now here for Fearless. And what's the dual damage as well? Up to 60 on Legion. Oh boy.
My waters rise.
He's really close to the net worth of Bob, and kind of surprising because Mastros, I mean, I think he was like 1-4 at some stage this game. Really had a bad laning stage, and he's done an incredible job to at least have, somewhat of a showing in this game.
And they're just keeping the pressure up, taking the outpost back one more time. Are they just going to run into this? You know they were smoked around the area.
Mastros. Should be another dual victory with the help of Fearless's damage, and it is.
Just get away. That was a kind of long TP as well, so Lionax not able to scout him out, get the battery assault to cancel that one through. Whoa, the way that Motivate play, it kind of reminds me of like TI8 OG, where they're not happy with just one kill. They always want to transition that into something else. You know, you see them split apart in team fights to be able to, divide and conquer.
Yeah, they definitely do have that divide and conquer mentality, don't they? Where they just go everywhere at once, making sure that you just completely choke out South build across the map. It's just like, where are they able to farm this game? It's just this network continuing to grow for Motivate at such a rapid rate, though.
What's the win probably looking like? It's like it's in their favor, but Dota Plus is still like, you got this.
Lionax actually committing in. He's got some boys in the back lane. Even Fearless wrapping through as well with the Exorcism. Abaddon not going to be able to reset. He's protected with the borrowed time, but no, they get the jewel on top of Bob, but the damage Mastros is getting shredded apart. Storm still linked up, so Fearless going to be able to close the distance down with the BKB. They're carrying up through a bar, but it's great use of the reset wards. Phil's gonna probably get out now. Jackie with a waveform in. They'll find the kill. Down goes a Bart. And Ryu will clean up the sidelines here, but now he needs to reset as well as Fearless is hunting. He's got so much movement speed, maxed out 550 with the help of the boots to travel. One more right click, Cryptstorm, nice dodge, and Ryu keeps his life. But that was a fight with the arcane rune, so the exorcism, a very, very low cooldown here.
It's only a minute away, and I mean, at the very worst, you're going to force a buyback out of Southfield's here, but more ideally, they're just going to take a tier 3, maybe even that melee axe.
Radiant's middle
Should be able to. Jackie doesn't have replicate. They're going to jump in instead on Q. At least it'll break the static link. That's the main thing. But Jackie has lost 60 damage, and they now need to reset. But Samiel with the blink in. Just leave Q. Get out of dodge here, motivate that. You're okay with at least losing the Grimstroke if the cores get out.
Yeah, just getting a little bit too cute there. I don't think they needed to go for that extra stun. I think they just needed to put all.
Oh, they're back in.
Taking. No.
Well, you said that on Divide and Conquer.
I mean, sure, but if
they don't know.
Because you don't need to do more.
No, it's you must. You must.
I'm not a fan of Viv. No, maths was never my strong point.
It's the Mongolian lifestyle.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan. Just conquer the world. Create.
Mongolia, they're from Thailand.
I know, but like they've got that mentality. It's just take names and don't let anyone stay alive.
You been to Thailand?
I have not, unfortunately. Blinking, Death Prophet. Feels protected. And he's still got the X's now back up thanks to the Arcane Rune previously. Bart's going to stand his ground, try and man fight, but if they can get outside the Wukong, don't even mind that. Stand their ground inside as 3 will fall from Southfield. Now they can turn their attention to a bar and use to cancel the TP. The duel's going to come through. They should have plenty of damage to find that victory, and that they do. Motivate. Just rip apart another team fight in this game. It's looking to get difficult.
I mean, I talked about the multiple ways that they have to initiate previously, right? Like, you've got the Clockwork, you've got the Legion Commander. I mean, DP, that wasn't really an initiation. That's more of like a... What's the right word? Like a rally? But you've even got the Grimstroke now, who's blinking aggressively with Inkswell on himself to be able to catch people out here. And, well, now you've got the Aghanim shot on the Legion Commander, so mini BKBs for anyone that gets to press the attack.
Ah, yes. The good old Legion Aghanim shot.
bottom tower is under attack.
What a crazy, crazy shot.
Fair and balanced.
Oh, yeah, very fair, very balanced.
Radiant's
Very
middle
well.
barracks are under attack.
How is Doge going, by the way? Is Dogecoin on the move?
Is it? Is it up to the moon today?
It's looking pretty solid.
Radiant's middle
Roll in on
barracks
Doge.
are under attack.
I'm surprised I brought that up because I'm a little bit traumatized at the fact that I lost my 200,000 Doge.
Oh no, Saj. You hate to see it. Maybe it'll go back up.
No. When I say I lost it, it was stolen.
Stolen.
Yeah. I had it in a crypto exchange, and then the owner stole everyone's currency and flew to somewhere in Asia.
Ah, yes. Good old scamming crypto exchanges. Yeah, I'd be salty about that. I understand. That's a bit rough.
I've still got my GameStop, so we're all good.
Let's go. We've still got a beautiful game as well with Motivated against Southfield. A 19,000 net worth lead where it just feels like, I don't know how Southfield are able to link together a couple of strong team fights. It's really just all been Motivated right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so hard for them to do anything once these BKBs are popped, right? And now even the Legion Commander's got his own. So, like, what does a Shadow Shaman do? What does an Abat do?
Oh, they found Storm.
Oh.
Nice use of the cogs as well. Bounce back. What a ward position from Lion Axe. Finds Bob trying to connect with the rest of the team down bot. And that kill is going to allow them to walk up the high ground. They're going to try and force a buyback out of this.
Yeah, they're trying to push out the lanes, but sorry guys, you've got a creep wave going in through the mid lane, so there's no backdoor protection. Eventually they pop the fortified, but it's going to be too slow to actually hit the tier 3 tower. Not that it would have done much of anything anyway.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe
Easy full set.
buyback here.
Has fallen. Dire's bottom tower has
Might have to
fallen.
buy back for the top setter Axe. You're okay with maybe losing a full, but
Exo's nearly done. I feel like they might take a tier 3 and then back off. Although, I mean, you've still got the Aegis. Why not? Screw it, let's stay.
yeah, Aegis for another 2 minutes 20. Hook shot in, Lion Axe, great use of the Hex though, stops the Cogs push back, but a boundless strike, Alba, he's gonna come in, but a quick start, no above! And he get the BKB off, and it's gonna cost him massively! He's got no buyback, and that should be the end of the world here for South. Built their buyback on NRU, but without their position one, it's all their damage, it's all their hopes, motivate, they're still diving deep, but they've got the protection with the press attack, magic immunity now thanks to the shard. The Southfield Esports last barracks left standing, and Jackie will just zone them away. Mastros is even going to blink in. He doesn't care about anything right now. It's a long zip from Bob, but a quick silence is on the mark as Bob will lose his life. Mastros might join him in the grave, but it's Mega Creeps Gaming, and it's Motivate that are looking to try and close this one out here. Bob back up, ready to go. Long zip in, finds Fire Axe in the tree line, and they find another kill, but Shackles, it's not on point, actually finding a creep.
Yeah, he showed that.
Fearless is still just baiting with the cheese.
And why not, right? Like,
he's ready to turn as soon as he wants to. BKB's there now out and then Ryu. Soulbind links up the two Motivate. They're even going to try and look to rejoin. They've got the bottom outpost for the TP locations and still with the Aegis so Jackie can play super aggressively. But how long do they want to stick around? Well, long enough for Mastros to get another kill.
yeah. Might see a cheeky 4-star here into a hook shot from Lion Axe.
Let the fun begin.
He's thinking about it. He's been so on point. I mean, the thing that sets Motivate apart from the rest of these South East Asian lower division teams for mine is that it is very clear they are a team. This is not one person carrying it every single time. It is a group effort. They always feel like they have so much cohesion.
Yeah, they do. It's just a team that, I mean, comes back into the play of when you play with a team for so long, you see that cohesion really start to add up, and it shows in their game style. It's a nice balance strike from above. They're trying to chain lock down Jackie, but Jackie just turns now. The Satanic and is able to go to work. They can't even kill the Morphin through one stun, and with the exorcism still up, Bob's going to have to call, and then South Dota Esports. Yeah, this was going to be their toughest rival to date, but they're still going to get dropped down here in 2-0 fashion. Motivate too strong.
Way too strong. And, I mean, at the start of today, I was kind of hoping for a 2-1. You know, I wanted to see Motivate push to their limit. I also wanted to be able to just quickly toss people over to the PGL stream once this was all done, because we got two really good series. Quick 2-0. I mean,